Yeah, it's all about a choice. There is no given thing कि ये चीज ये लोग कर सकते हैं, because I think that's how Indian classical forms were also कि
Yeah,
male
yeah,
people can't do Kathak or
yeah.
Bharatanatyam, but we see so many guys taking up Kathak, so many guys taking up Bharatanatyam. So I think it's just a choice and something that if you like something, you don't see कि अरे ये gender allowed नहीं है. I
Uh,
think we have to get out of that whole perspective of
Open mind.
कि gender based things. Like there is nothing gender based. Like
No, yeah, not
I
at
mean,
all. I agree to that. This woman is just amazing. She has fallen down so many times but never given up. She has been successful in finding ways to pursue her dreams and passion and become the person she is today. Preksha Bardia, not just any dancer but a ballet and a contemporary dancer and a yogini. She writes, she reads, she is a content creator, and she also teaches dance and yoga. So many things in one person. How amazing is that? We have talked about it all. So do not miss this episode. Do listen to this episode till the end, as trust me, you'll enjoy this episode a lot. So without further ado, let's begin episode number 24. Thank you so much, Preksha, for doing this episode with me. First of all, I'm really glad that I have a chance to talk to a ballet dancer, and plus, you are a contemporary dancer as well. And as a person who loves dancing myself, I have lost the connection with it for quite some time right now. But I am really saying that you are an inspiration for a lot of people, even me, to see you do such stuff. And your whole Instagram is about inspiration altogether, different styles, showing your talent in a different way all together. It's amazing. So thank you so much for doing this episode. I'm really excited and pumped out to talk to you about your whole story and how you started and how is it going. So thank you so much.
thank you for having me here. I am also very excited to talk about this, about my journey so far, because I haven't talked about it to anyone. So it's brand new. Hi, I'm Preksha and I'm a dancer based in Calcutta. I basically trained in ballet and contemporary dance from Terence Lewis Academy in Mumbai. I also ended up doing a yoga teacher's training program, so I'm a certified yoga teacher. And apart from that, I like too many things. So I do too many things. I love to write, I love to read, I love to watch movies. So my life is a mix of everything that I do. And yeah, so I just like to portray all of those things that I like through my art, which is dance. And yeah,
That's really amazing to see that have you have different artistic ideas in your head, and you have different things to explore all around, be it writing, be it poetry, be it your dance. It's really amazing. But before starting with the whole story, I would really like to know, is somewhere it is it very helpful for one art form like ballet to be learned, and together with it contemporary as well? Is it very helpful for both of those things together?
no. So I mean, yeah. So when you're learning contemporary, you will learn ballet. They will teach you ballet because that ballet is the base of all the Western dance forms. So even if you're doing jazz, if you're doing contemporary, if you're doing modern, you have to learn a little bit of ballet because there's a lot of similarity in the technique. And ballet, what ballet does is that it gives you discipline, it gives you strength, flexibility, grace, and all of those things. So after you have learned ballet, it's easier for you to pursue any other dance form because you have everything that a dancer needs, and now you can just go for it. So I think ballet is sort of how Indian classical dance forms are,
Yeah.
which they help to build a base. It's the same. It's called a Western classical dance form. Ballet is a Western classical.
Yeah,
Dance.
that's so okay. That's really nice because I also I always thought this, that contemporary is something which is very it's like it also teaches somewhere a lot of discipline for sure. It also helps you understand your body altogether, because I don't think in hip hop that it's you need to be that flexible when it comes to hip hop in that way. But for sure, when I saw that you know both ballet and contemporary, I really wanted to know this answer, because अब इंटरनेट में आप सर्च कर लो तो इतना कुछ ऐसे आंसर आपको नहीं मिलेगा जैसे आपने दिया है. But yeah, talking to someone who has actually trained on it and who is a dancer and who's actually teaching and performing herself, really, it helps me to understand, and I think a lot of people will understand as well. So, now I would really like to know how it all started for you. What inspired you to get into the whole platform of ballet. I think there are a lot of dancers who love dancing. They get into dancing their own practice. It comes to hip hop, Bollywood, or the mixture of both, or something like that, or mainly contemporary as well. But ballet is something which still a lot of people are not into. Still, a lot of people don't understand that well, and getting into ballet is like a tough thing for a lot of people, क्योंकि जैसे आपने कहा कि डिसिप्लिन इज सो इम्पोर्टेंट इन बैले कि आई नो कि हर जगह वो आप नहीं कर सकते. जैसे आप इन हिप हॉप इट्स वेरी कूल एंड काम एंड एवरीथिंग, बट बैले नीड्स दैट काइंड ऑफ प्रैक्टिस. So did it all start for you? How was like your journey? Like how did it start?
So I think it was not कि बचपन से मैं ballet कर रही हूँ, which should be ideally the situation, because people start training for ballet when they're 3 years old, and I started when I was 19 years old. So 15 years behind. And so when I started, I had the same perception of ballet that बहुत boring है, गाने में lyrics ही नहीं है, piano का music बज रहा है, and there was not full out dancing, because you were still training, you were working on your flexibility, you're working on strength, you're working on jumps, and it was basically torture classes. So it was a lot, and our teacher was very strict and he used to give us a really hard time. So you end up hating it even more because it's like कि हम डांस सीखने आए हैं, and उसके पहले मैंने सिर्फ हिप हॉप किया था बहुत ज्यादा और बॉलीवुड किया था. So it's very stark difference between both the dance forms. I think my love for ballet happened out of nowhere. I think it was like a challenge for me, because I got so when we were training in ballet, everyone in my class was supposed to perform a piece at the end of our our graduation piece, and we were around 8 girls, and उसमें से the sir chose only 3 girls who will get their point shoes, and I was not one of them. And I think that really hurt me, that I was like कि यार I also want those shoes, because those looked very pretty, and the teacher had decided, obviously because I wasn't there yet, so he had decided on the basis of that, but it felt like a challenge to me, and somewhere in my mind it was there कि I have to get there. Like I don't know how, but I have to get there somehow, and I think it was there behind, and I did not think about it a lot. I just kept practicing. So whatever basics I used to do, I just kept practicing, and after Mumbai, when I came back to Calcutta, I practiced for another year, and then I just looked up कि shoes कहाँ मिलते हैं, and I just ordered one for myself. I had no idea if I'll be able to do it, if I'll not be able to do it, but I just ordered them, and then they came, and I did my first point class, and then I got to understand कि कैसे होता है, क्या होता है, and to my surprise, I was able to do it. Like obviously, I still had to learn a lot, but it was like the feeling that I had was so different, that finally, like it was validation for me at that point. Ki, okay, I can do this. I can get somewhere if I want to, and if I work hard enough. So I think that was there. And the second thing is that I am bachpan se I'm very tomboyish. Okay, so even now, like I will wear like t-shirts and jeans and like very tomboyish. I will not become very girly, which I don't think is the right word to say, but I am not very feminine. So when I did ballet for the first time, I experienced like कि मेरे अंदर से ये grace कहाँ से आ रहा है. Like because people started saying कि यार you're so graceful, और उसके पहले मैंने सिर्फ यही सुना था कि यार कितने लड़कों जैसी है, कैसे लड़कों जैसी चलती है, and all of that. So it was such I don't know, it was surprising for me कि मेरे अंदर भी ये है, that I can be graceful, and I even don't know कि वो कहाँ से आता है. I have no idea. It's just I wear the shoes and then somehow it just happens. वो switch हो जाता है अपने आप, and then I'm back to normal. So I think that was also very exciting to sort of find out and discover that I have that side in me. So yeah.
It's really amazing to actually listen to you talk about the whole journey, because obviously जैसे आपने कहा कि like people actually started from a very young age when it comes to ballet. कोई और डांस फॉर्म हो तो ठीक है, with time you can actually get there, but ballet is something जिसमें आपके बोन स्ट्रक्चर चेंज हो सकते हैं, आपको बहुत ज़्यादा हर्ट हो सकता है, एंड स्टैंडिंग ऑन योर टोज it's something difficult and very different. छोटे में तो ऐसा होता है कि your body is still developing, your body is still growing, तो वैसे ही बन जाते हैं सबके सब. And going there around like when you were 19, and as you said ki you had this whole thing of not being that feminine, you always want, you were like that only. तो उस चीज को भी चेंज करके, because I know कि ballet में भी this is also a thing कि your feminine side should be more as compared to your masculine side, and वो चीज को भी आप डिस्कवर कर रहे हो, प्लस आपका the grace. This is very important when it comes from आप हिप हॉप सीख चुके हो, आप बॉलीवुड सीख चुके हो, उसमें उतना ग्रेस नहीं चाहिए जितना आपको बैले या कंटेम्प्रेरी में चाहिए होता है. लाइक व्हेन इट कम्स टू कथक एज वेल, व्हेन इट कम्स टू इंडियन क्लासिकल एज वेल, एनी क्लासिकल आई थिंक एनी क्लासिकल डांस फॉर्म requires that level of grace when it does, which is I think doesn't come from hip hop that much, or someone who has learned their life from started from hip hop and everything. So it's really nice to see कि आपने ये चीज भी बोला कि if you work hard and if you are your goal is clear, you want to do it, and that you can do it, you'll get there. And wearing those I think ballet shoes also, I just said that कि आ जाता है अंदर से. It's just because I think वो मेहनत के कारण आपके अंदर वो आ चुका था कि yes, you can do it. But हाँ, wearing those shoes, you transform yourself altogether कि you feel different because you're wearing ballet shoes. Finally, you can actually do those stuff that you wanted to. It's amazing. But I know for sure that there have been a lot of difficulties that you would have faced, as we are from a very orthodox background. I think India is that way, and somewhere right now people have started to actually appreciate the fact that dancing or choreography is something that can be actually pursued, that you can actually earn a lot of money from it, and you can actually settle down. You can actually enjoy the work you do and also earn a lot of money and be settled down, be independent. But still there are a lot of parents, still there are a lot of relatives, friends, still that circle is there where I think a lot of people don't appreciate someone doing that kind of work, because एक तो सबसे बड़ा बात ये है कि unorthodox चीज करना is something very risky in this culture. The second thing, that you're a woman, so that is also a very big deal in I think in the world that we are living in India. So I would really like to know what kind of difficulties you face, what kind of prejudices that you face. Be it your friends, be it the closed ones, be it your family, anyone. Like as comfortable you are to share any.
Okay, I will start off by saying that I am very lucky because I think my parents are the coolest people, and they never questioned me that why am I taking up dance. Maybe in the back of their head they always knew that I am more inclined towards art than studies, and they just had figured that out. And so I remember I was going to pursue engineering, and I had taken like a 1-year drop, and I was like, I'll prepare for IITs and everything, and then I will give the exams. And I think 6 months had passed. I had not prepared for anything, and I was just dancing. And something happened, and I just went out of nowhere, went to my dad, and I said, I don't want to study anymore. I don't want to pursue engineering. It's something that everyone is doing. Why don't I just take up dance instead? And my dad said, "ठीक है." And I was expecting very different answers, but he just said, "हाँ ठीक है करो." And I was like, I went back and I'm just thinking कि okay, अब तो पापा ने भी हाँ बोल दिया है. अब क्या करूँ? Like, what should be the first step? But yeah, like that was the thing. My mom was a little unsure because she wanted me to study and then pursue dance. But my dad was very clear. He do one thing and just do it the right way. Give everything to that thing. There is no need of plan B if you work hard enough on your plan A. So I think that was a very a big support for me, that Papa ने बोल दिया है तो अब now he will tackle the entire family. He will talk to their whole clan of relatives, and that is his responsibility. I don't have to worry about anything. So that was the thing. I did have to fight for me to go to Bombay, because that was something very different for my family, and also like going to Bombay to study is different, but going to Bombay to pursue dance, it's like another, because उनको लगता है कि बॉलीवुड से रिलेटेड हो जाएगी और वो इंडस्ट्री इतनी खराब है and all of that. But I think in the end my father saw that I was passionate. He saw that I really wanted to do this and it would make me happy. So I think like it was easy. Like I obviously had to pursue it, but it was fine. Like it was comparatively easy when I see other people. They have to fight a lot. They might have to leave their house, run away from their house. I have pursuing power, I think. So I pursued them. Yeah.
That's really nice. As I said कि काफी difficult हो सकता है सबके लिए, but you were privileged. I think कि your father was
Yeah.
supportive that way. Plus he did. There are a lot of people who go through a lot. But if that was that easy, then what were the challenges that you faced? What kind of challenges were there in your life?
I think the challenge has been my body. Like I would, because especially when you start something so late in life. So the first thing that I went through was when I went to Bombay. Uske pehle, I'm a very big nerd. Okay, I was a very good student. I'm a nerd, and so उसके पहले मैंने जो ट्रेनिंग ली थी, that was not training. It was like कि choreography सिखाते हैं तुमको and you're just doing them. So I had no flexibility, I had no strength, and it was like कि okay, I have to start everything from zero, because अभी तक कुछ नहीं किया मैंने. And when I went there, I had 22 other people learning with me, and they were all at 5, 6, 7, 8, and I was at 0. So every day going to the class and trying to match up with those people was the biggest challenge. It's like तुम्हारे confidence की पूरी वाट लग जाती है कि यार ये कहाँ, मतलब if a girl is standing in front of you with her leg up high and your leg can't even like just come up, it's like so much torture. But I think it took me around 6 months to realize कि I am not competing with these people. I'm just competing with myself because I am starting at 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4 सब पार करके ही मैं 6, 7 में पहुंचूंगी. But it took me time, and I think वो 6 months वाला period काफी torturous था, and I was really struggling with confidence mainly because I was like यार कैसे, how will I stay here, how will I compete with these people, and then you're away from home, you have to do other things also because cooking भी करना है, cleaning भी करना है, everything, and then at the top of that कि I am taking 8 hours of training, but I have to practice more than other people do because I have to learn so much more. So it was a very big thing. And the second problem that I had with my body was that I got injuries early on, because of not taking proper care of nutrition, of also my mental health and all of those things. I was like sort of killing myself because I was working so hard and I was not eating well. I was not taking care of anything, and that really took a toll on my body. And I think within 8-9 months of training, I had a very serious knee injury, which is still there, and I deal with it. But yeah, so that was like कि मतलब to a point कि the doctor said कि अब तुम dance नहीं कर पाओगी and things like that, and operation करना पड़ेगा, and so all of those things were the struggles that I had because I think जब तुम्हारी body साथ नहीं दे रही और तुम्हारा प्रोफेशन ही पूरा बॉडी रिलेटेड है, तो हाउ आर यू गोना वर्क. एंड आई थिंक वो पीरियड जब आई वाज टेकिंग केयर ऑफ माई सेल्फ was a very important period in my life. Like that was the turning point of my life because that made me who I am right now. So yeah, like that injuries change you. Like they change you completely. So yeah.
Before starting this episode, you said one more thing, that when you actually lose someone, you understand how short life is, एंड व्हेन यू आर एक्चुअली समवेयर एक इतना बड़ा वॉल आ जाता है जहाँ पे आपका फोकस एक पूरा पाथ में है, अब उसको क्रॉस करने में इतना प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है, लाइक द नी इंजरी यू हैड, वहाँ आपको समझ में आया कि yes, how much you need to work more and what you need to do and how you need to prove yourself even कि yes, you can do something like this. Hats off, to be very honest, to be able to actually do that and have that knee injury, and still you're learning yourself, you're actually learning with yourself as well, and you're teaching other people, and I think there is a lot of inspiration that comes from you towards them as well. जैसे मैंने बोला कि I used to dance a lot. I used to go for dance classes and everything till I think class 12. कॉलेज में आने के बाद भी आफ्टर शिफ्टिंग टू कैलकाटा ऑल्सो आई ट्राइड टू, बट वही देखा कि यार बाहर का जो वेराइटी ऑफ डांसेस है, it was too much. Like people used to just get one step like this, and I was a slow learner. I used to take my own time. Like you said, practice ज़्यादा करना पड़ता था दूसरा लोग से as compared. But उनको तो उधर ही समझ में आ जाता था यार. तो I was like कि नहीं. It's like after a month I stopped, and उसके बाद I got busy in different ways. So I couldn't even take a single step कि I reflect to it and I start again. So kudos to that. Some people actually give up in stages like this, in stages where there are a lot of difficulties. They just go with what they have, and they don't want to do so much. I think there is a big inspiration coming from you कि we need to actually pursue and do those things where हम लोग का जहाँ पे mind set हो चुका है. As you have been in this whole genre, in this whole creative world for a long time right now, I would really like to know what kind of differences you see in your whole ballet contemporary world as compared to the other world of dancing. Okay, let's just compare the Indian classical classical dance form with the ballet. What differences do you see?
I mean, I don't know. I think like very recently, I have started to be very like, I want to learn Indian classical as well. Because as a kid, I remember I was put into an Indian classical class, I think Bharatnatyam, and I did not enjoy it. And because I think I was कि गाना नहीं बज रहा है, and they're giving you beats and घुंघरू पहन के रखे हैं. It was not something, I think mentally I was not there. But right now when I see them dancing, I find it so beautiful and so expressive that I really like it. I think I see more similarities than difference. Because I think classical dance forms का root ही होता है कि they have like set rules, they have discipline. Even in Indian classical, you have to train really hard, and you can't change the mudras that there are. You can't change all of those things. The basics cannot be changed. Like in other dance form, like contemporary, you get the technique, but you have free flowing ideas. You can do whatever you want with your body. And that's why so many different contemporary genres have come. It's the same with hip hop, right? There's so many different things that you can do, and just learn some basics and it's fine. But with ballet, you can't change certain things. Like there is a turnout, there is like the arms are supposed to be that way, your chin is supposed to be up. Like everything is set. And you've been given these things, now create whatever you want to create through that. And the same thing is with Indian classical as well. They do mix up different dance forms because fusion बहुत होता है. But अगर तुम authentically सिर्फ classical dance forms कर रहे हो, तो यही होता है कि तुमको set rules दे दिए. Now इससे तुम क्या बना सकते हो? Like इससे तुम अलग-अलग क्या बना सकते हो? Just do that. So I think they have a lot more similarities, and I started appreciating Indian classical after I learned ballet. So I think I have a lot of respect for anyone who does classical training, because I think कि इतना discipline होता है, and also you have to have a love for that art form to be able to pursue that for so long. Because I think it can get boring and it can get कि same ही हो रहा है, but if you love that art form enough, you will find ways to create new things through what is given to you.
Absolutely, absolutely. वो ये चीज हमेशा रहा है, क्योंकि आई थिंक इतना कोई दिखाया ही नहीं है इतना हम लोगों की क्लासिकल फॉर्म कितना ग्रेसफुल, कितना अच्छा, और क्या स्टोरी बोला जा सकता है फ्रॉम लाइक भरतनाट्यम इज समथिंग व्हिच इज डिफरेंट ऑल टुगेदर. Kathak is different altogether. Odissi is I mean, there are so many forms. Like if people actually learn them well, लाइक अगर मैं इमेजिन करता हूँ तो क्लासिकल फॉर्म में सबसे ज्यादा मेरे को यही चीज अच्छा लगता है कि द फेस टेल्स एवरीथिंग. द स्टेप्स आर नॉट लाइक, जैसे अभी हम लोग अगर हिप हॉप के बारे में बात कर रहे थे तो इफ यू गो विथ यू नो लाइक डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ हिप हॉप जॉनर्स आर देयर. बट हिप हॉप में क्या होता है कि अगर आप लिरिकल हिप हॉप कर रहे हो तो आप एक्चुअली बता सकते हो लिरिक्स के साथ यू डू समथिंग विथ योर होल बॉडी, एंड बॉडी ही आपका बता देता है कि वो वर्डिंग क्या है. But when it comes to, I think classical, the face says it all, and it's so nice to see the expressions. Oh my God, the classical dancers have amazing expressions, and I think वो सभी आपका discipline से ही आ सकता है. As you said for ballet as well. Ballet is a proud form for everyone. Like I see, like you know, in US as well. अगर देखते हैं तो कोई सिखाता भी है तो इतना proud and upper class type का वो है कि you know the chin up thing that you said. It's literally something. if अगर आप लो करके रखोगे तो उस फॉर्म का पूरा लुक चले जाएगा. Because it's like that, you're still straight, like on your toes. तो obviously chin up बहुत अच्छा लगेगा. And as you said कि कुछ ऐसे rules है कि आप change नहीं कर सकते वरना वो form ही change हो जाएगा, चाहे आप फ्यूजन करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो या नहीं. So yeah, thank you for actually telling me that. काफी points मेरे को भी समझ में, and I think a lot of people will understand as well. There is a very major thing like a lot of people don't see. Okay, you have started sharing your story, you have started sharing your knowledge, but I would really like you to share how can the life of a dancer be? As you were in Mumbai, you were learning, you were alone. अब आप घर पे भी हो तो कहीं ना कहीं दिस इज योर ओन स्ट्रगल. नोबडी विल अंडरस्टैंड मोर देन यू बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली समवेयर देयर इज दिस थिंग कि फैमिली में इतने डांसर्स भी नहीं होंगे जो प्रोफेशनली इसको एक्चुअली फॉलो कर रहे होंगे, करियर बना रहे होंगे. तो आपका वो लाइफ कैसा होता है? हाउ डिफरेंट इट इज फ्रॉम द पीपल अराउंड यू हु आर डूइंग डिफरेंट थिंग्स इन देयर लाइफ, इवन फ्रॉम मी, इवन फ्रॉम योर फैमिली. आप उस चीज को कैसे बताओगे?
आई थिंक कि व्हाट इज डिफरेंट in Indian families, especially I come from a Marwadi family. मेरे फैमिली में दूर दूर तक कोई डांसर या आर्टिस्ट ही नहीं, सब बिजनेसमैन हैं या फिर सब इंजीनियर, डॉक्टर्स, यही मिलेंगे. एंड CA is the topmost, and I think कि it's very hard to explain them sometimes कि this is what my life is. Like I think the most is my injuries. Whenever I have an injury and my mom is like, what the hell, again another injury you have, and they don't understand this is a part and parcel of this life. Because तुम इतनी ज़्यादा body को use कर रहे हो तो वो obviously injured होगी, and obviously my body will be sore and there will be pain. I will be like, मेरे पास अलग से मेरा एक first aid kit है जिसमें इतने सारे crepe bandages है, इतनी सारी चीजें हैं जो, and for everyone else it's very peculiar कि क्यों, मतलब why is this person hurting herself so much? So it's very hard for them to understand things like that. Also, I think like एक घर पे रह के when you're living in a house where your parents are there, and so following a nutrition, following anything, following a routine can be difficult at times because everything is set ना कि ये खाना बनता है, ये चीजें होती है, and sort of they don't understand मैं ये क्यों कर रही हूँ. You know, why is this person becoming so English son? उनके दिमाग में कि अंग्रेजी लोग करते हैं ये सब, विदेशी लोग करते हैं ये सब. So it's very hard. मैं अपनी दादी को समझाती हूँ कि अरे यार नहीं, ऐसा नहीं खाते हैं, मैं नहीं खा सकती हूँ ये. But it's very hard to explain her. And even the people who know dancing ना, उनके लिए भी they don't know ballet. So उनके लिए भी it's very difficult to understand कि ballet जैसे फॉर्म में क्या होता है, कि उस फॉर्म के लिए क्या क्या करना पड़ता है. Because they think कि अरे उनके लिए तो इट्स लाइक अगर तुमको डांस करना है तो तुम रियलिटी शो में क्यों नहीं जाती, लाइक यू नो वेरी सेट थिंग्स कि तुम डांसर बन के तो रियलिटी शो में जाओगी या फिर अपना एक स्टूडियो खोल लोगी. सो दे डोंट अंडरस्टैंड एवरीथिंग अबाउट लर्निंग, अबाउट ट्रेनिंग योरसेल्फ एवरी डे. दे आर लाइक कितना सीखोगी, लाइक हाउ मच मोर डू यू वांट टू लर्न. And so all of those things are hard to explain them, but it's also that like I am also growing and they are also growing, and it is, I think, it's a it has to be that way. Like, I think my biggest pride is that I have a sister, a cousin sister, little one.
Before we move any further, if everyone listening to this episode finds my content helpful and great, I'd like to request everyone to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also follow me in various audio platforms and also on Instagram and Twitter. And do not forget to check out Preksha's Instagram page. I've shared all the links on the description below.
Little one, and she looks at me and she's like, "मेको तो जो दीदी कर रही है वही करना है." And I think that is the proudest moment for me because,
I was about to say this right now, that you're breaking the barrier. You are the first generation of dancers that will come along in your family, professional, learning and teaching dancer. So it's amazing to actually see someone, to look at you as someone कि हाँ ऐसा बनना है. और थोड़ा भी अगर कोई इंटरेस्ट दे देता है कि जो बच्चे हों या फिर हमारे एज के भी कोई भी हो, कि इंटरेस्ट दे दिया, तुम करती कैसे हो, होता कैसे है, ऐसा भी कुछ भी अगर हो गया तो इट फील्स वेरी गुड कि किसी को मेरे बारे में जानना तो है कि हाँ मैं कर क्या रही हूँ या कर क्या रहा हूँ, एंड एवरीथिंग लाइक दैट. इट्स रियली नाइस. एंड या आई एब्सोल्युटली अग्री विथ यू कि काफ़ी डिफरेंसेस रह सकते हैं, क्योंकि first of all, Marwadi family, coming from that as well, I have, like, I literally don't have anyone around me who is a content creator, who likes to talk to people, who is into this artistic journey or artistic world. चाहे वो लोग क्यों ना चाहे वो लोग इंटीरियर डिजाइनर क्यों ना हो, दैट इज नॉट दैट आर्ट वाला तुम फिर भी लास्ट में बिजनेस ही कर रहे हो एक तरीका से. लाइक योर प्रोफेशन इज दैट ओनली, यू आर अर्निंग मनी थ्रू दैट ओनली, एक तरीका से वैसा हो रहा है. बट द होल जर्नी, एज यू ऑल्सो सेड कि आपका ये खुद का एक प्रोसेस है, आप खुद ग्रो कर रहे हो, साथ साथ में आपकी फैमिली भी ग्रो कर रही है, आपको खुद को भी समझ में आ रहा है कि वो लोग कहाँ से आते हैं, वो लोग को भी समझ में आएगा धीरे धीरे कि आप कहाँ से आ रहे हो.
Also, one thing that I want to really talk about is that like the biggest thing that I face as a woman doing something is like you are like completely caught up in, like, they are okay with me dancing, but even with my parents I have this fight कि तुमने ये क्यों पहना है, तुम ऐसे क्यों डांस कर रही हो, why do you have to do it this way only. And I think वो fight is sometimes a struggle for me because it's hard to explain them the intent behind it, but then I realized, and also one of my teachers told me this, कि as long as in your heart you know what you're doing is right, just keep doing it. Like, ignore the noises that you're hearing. I know sometimes it's hard when your own parents are those noises, but I think in the end they will get it because you are committed to it. So if you somehow like change your mind in between, they will be like ये गलत ही कर रही थी. So you're trying to prove yourself wrong. So I just want to say this कि if you think that you're doing something right, just keep doing it. And people will get it eventually.
Absolutely. Stand for yourself. That is very important when it comes to something that you believe in and you love. I think standing for that is very, very, very important. Then I would really like to know from you कि pandemic was something which actually changed a lot of people's lives. सबके लिए अच्छा था, किसी like सबके लिए अच्छा नहीं था. like lot of people were affected in a whole different way. सबका affect जैसे सबको जिस तरीके से affect है, it's not that it's same for every single person. Lot of people lost their jobs, lives, family members, a lot of things happened. काफी लोग ने बहुत कुछ किया भी, काफी लोग अलग अलग लेवल पे पहुंच चुके हैं अपने लाइफ में. They have done a lot of great things in life. So I would really like to know, when it comes to pandemic and when it comes to mental health, how would you tell about it in your words when it comes to these two words, or when I say these two words as related to your whole journey, your life?
So the pandemic in the beginning was so before the pandemic I was supposed to be in New York training in ballet, and I had gotten everything prepared. I had gotten admission and everything, and then my visa got rejected. And so when the pandemic happened, it actually made me feel good because अगर मैं New York जाती और वहाँ पे the pandemic was really bad because that was the epicenter of a lot of things, so I would have got stuck there. So that was the first thing that happened. As soon as the pandemic started, I felt कि okay, the universe had a bigger plan, and I felt great. Like I really felt great. कि okay, fine. And then I was taking a lot of classes. I was working in 5, 6 different studios before the pandemic, and I was teaching yoga, I was teaching dance, and so a lot of things were happening. But I was not too much into content creation. I was just doing it whenever I did a photo shoot. I used to post pictures and all of that. I think the pandemic really brought out that side. I started creating content actually during the pandemic. So that was a very good thing because that was a big pastime for me. I did not take any classes for 3 months, the starting 3 months, because I thought, like all of us were thinking, ये खत्म हो जाएगा, but वो खत्म हुआ ही नहीं. And then I decided कि okay, अब मुझे online classes लेने पड़ेंगे because it's high time. So I started taking a few online classes here and there. But I think that creating content from home was a very big thing, which I realized कि it could be so nice to share my journey to people. क्योंकि उसके पहले I was just focusing कि जो स्टूडियो में आएंगे उनको सिखाना. But then I realized कि इंडिया में बहुत सारे लोग हैं जिनको मैं इंटरनेट के थ्रू रीच कर सकती हूँ. तो आई थिंक वो एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट लेसन था मेरे लिए, बिकॉज राइट नाउ इट्स सच अ बिग पार्ट ऑफ माई लाइफ. लाइक इंस्टाग्राम इज अ बिग पार्ट ऑफ माई लाइफ. सो दैट वाज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग दैट हैपेंड. आई थिंक द ट्रेनिंग टुक अ टोल बिकॉज आई थिंक घर पे रहने की आदत नहीं थी, घर पे ट्रेन करने की आदत नहीं थी, हमेशा स्टूडियो था. तो the spaces were smaller, too many people, too much congestion. So for the first few days, few months, I was like, I did not feel like training. Like I did not feel like working on my body anymore, and that took a toll on your body, obviously, because I realized कि अरे splits ही नहीं हो रहे. I realized कि ये क्या हो रहा है. And also nutrition took a toll because सब मास्टर शेफ बन गए थे, सब कुछ भी खा रहे थे, कुछ भी बना रहे थे. So all of that, a lot of that happened. But I think it also made you realize that कि यार it's fine to let go sometimes. Like you don't have to be rigid about ये करना चाहिए, because you learn in your own way, and that was not a easy time. That was not a normal time. The world was going through something together. So I think कि वो एक मतलब it was mentally I was feeling a lot of things. Like I was feeling, because sometimes you wake up and you feel like okay, let's do something, I'll create content, and then things don't work out, and then you end up going to sleep feeling so exhausted and lost. And then next day because you don't have anything to look forward to. Like you're not going anywhere, nothing is happening. Whatever is happening is inside that room. So after a point you get frustrated of that space. ये क्या space है? And right now I have a bigger space, but for 1 year we were in a smaller space. So that was even more congested. That was even more cramped up. So I was like and after a point you're just like, I can't churn out any more ideas. अब क्या करूँ, और इस room में कुछ बचा ही नहीं. मैंने यहाँ भी photo खींच ली, वहाँ भी खींच ली. Everything is done. So it was very tiring. It was also like sometimes you feel. Also, I was looking for validation only through Instagram, which is not right. Which is not right at all. That was very wrong. I think then it becomes like कि अगर वहाँ कुछ किसी ने बुरा बोल दिया, तो your entire morale goes down. कि okay, one person said something wrong, and you just like done. You're like, अब मैं नहीं करूँगी. I'll not create content anymore and everything. So I think that all of that, I think we all grew up a little more during that period, because it was such a difficult period. Also then families going through things. किसी को COVID हो गया, someone losing someone. It was a lot of things. But I think my biggest learning was that like just slow down sometimes. It's okay to not do anything at times and like think. Like I think as an artist, what is very important is to not just create art, but also to watch. Like watch art, read more, so that you can get other perspectives also. Because otherwise तुम जब everyday life में जीते हो, तो you don't get that much time to read, you don't get that much time to watch more art forms, more things. So I think that was nice, because I started to watch people dancing. I started to watch a lot of musicals, a lot of reading about different dancers. So I think both up was interesting to do. Not every time you have to do something. You can just watch and learn something by watching. Anxiety obviously काफी anxiety थी क्योंकि बहुत uncertainty थी. Like how do you plan? Like you can't plan anything कि पहले से कि अच्छा अब ये करेंगे, अब वो training करेंगे. I think right before I think जब March 24th को lockdown हुआ, I was in Bangalore and I had gone there for a month-long training in contemporary and that got cancelled. First day class भी नहीं हुई, वही cancel हो गया. And you know that really like so the New York thing got cancelled, then the Bangalore thing got cancelled. So I was like, okay, things are not gonna work out. Things are not happening. So that's why I did not train for 3-4 months after that because I was like, नहीं हो रहा है कुछ. Because you want to learn from a teacher and obviously pandemic में teacher कहाँ मिलेगा and online like I am still not okay with learning online because it just takes away so much and especially dance forms like ballet and contemporary you need crazy space and then you like it just doesn't match up. Like someone has to watch your body, how is it working, how is it not working. So I was very anxious the entire time but yeah, I think the only thing that kept me going was like watching content and creating content. So I think that was the only constant that happened and I spent a lot of time with my family which otherwise you don't because you're so busy in your life. So I think वो भी एक अच्छा चीज था but I'm also a very so yoga and meditation is something that has been there in my life ever since my injury. Like even if I had a bad day, I would like take 15-20 minutes कि थोड़ा stretch कर लो, थोड़ा meditation कर लो and I would feel better again.
You knew that if you are down, you need to do it for 20-30 minutes. These are the things that you want to do and it will make you feel good. Knowing that, understanding how your anxiety works, it's a very hard job. I can completely understand. Even I have a lot of anxiety. So, I think I'll take this away for sure from you that, this is something that I really need to start. I have been thinking of starting it, kabhi hua nahi, but I think yes, it's time, high time right now. I really like to ask tough questions. Okay. So here it goes. Do you think ballet is for, male people as well?
Yes. So I think anyone can do ballet. Anyone, any age, any gender, anyone can do ballet if they want to do it and if they like it. I think these are the only two requirements that you want to, you want to be training in it and you want to, learn it. And secondly, that if you like it, I think that is the only two primary things that are there. I will tell you a little bit of history. So ballet started with only female ballerinas.
Mm-hmm.
It was performed at the King's Courts and it was obviously, as you said, upper class. So the kings used to watch ballerinas dance and perform. And this was started in Italy. And then the French people took it from there and they turned it into a dance form that can be learned and performed. And I think that's when the men also started coming in.
Okay.
Now, primarily, men used to do ballet just to help out the female ballerina. So there are these duets that they do, which is called like a pade dukes. So that, guy is supporting the girl to do a lot of different things and all of that. So that was the primary use of boys, male guys in the dance form. And then slowly it became that the males also started having their own solos. They also started having their own shining, parts. So they don't usually wear the point shoes. They can if they want to because I know a lot of guys who do wear them. But they have their own shining things. Like if you ever get to watch, I will just tell you one. Like I will ask everyone to go and watch this. It's a performance by Sergei Polin. I don't know the exact name on the song "Take Me to Church." And if you get a chance, just watch that performance, and you will see that male dancers can do ballet. Like that is the perfect example because that dance is something that, like, oh my god, this guy is flying. So yeah, and he does it so gracefully and he does it so nicely. So I think yeah, it's all about a choice. There is no given thing कि ये चीज ये लोग कर सकते हैं, because I think that's how Indian classical forms were also कि male people can't do Kathak or Bharatanatyam, but we see so many guys taking up Kathak, so many guys taking up Bharatanatyam. So I think it's just a choice and something that if you like something, you don't see कि अरे ये gender allowed नहीं है. I think we have to get out of that whole perspective of कि gender based things. Like there is nothing gender based. Like
not at all. I agree to that. But you said this on the perspective of the dancer. What would you say to people who actually think, well, not dancers, but how would you try, like if you can, try and burst this myth around people not being like male people cannot do classicals around the world. कोई भी classical हो, it's basically, as you said that कि Indian classicals were also something which was done to in front of Maharaj and everything, the kings and those people. कोई भी आप अगर classical form ले लो, I think it mostly goes on that back date जहाँ पे it used to be performed for upper class people seeing it. It was something like that, and the same goes for ballet as well, and I think other classical dance forms around the world as well, mostly. So I would really like to from you also कि आप ये myth कैसे burst करोगे अगर आपको किसी को कुछ बोलना हो कि it's everything can be is a choice for people, nothing is these things cannot be done for just like खाली female ही कर.
I think there are so many things, like जैसे कि I would give a biggest example is weightlifting. That was something that women should not be doing weightlifting because इतने muscular bodies नहीं होते ना women के and all of that. But we see so many women lifting weights nowadays, and they look bloody hot lifting those weights. And yeah, I mean, why not? So I think, and I personally believe that every human has a feminine and a masculine side to them. And I think to actually completely figure yourself out, you should try and do both kind of things. Like you should attempt to try those more feminine things and then try those more masculine things. And then figure out what you like and what you don't. And maybe you want to do 50-50 both. Maybe you want more of feminine, less of masculine, or vice versa. But I think if you're not even trying, you have not figured yourself out. So just give it a chance. Like it doesn't have to be that you have to do ballet to try feminine things. But I think ballet is not just feminine. It's a test of strength. It's a test of so many different things. Like can you be disciplined? Can you put your hard work into just one thing every day? It's just a test of all of that. Can you follow a routine every day? So I think, and none of the steps really are feminine that way. They are like a man. When a man will do it, it will look different than a woman doing it. It's just simple as that. Like there is nothing. And graceful तो यार men भी हो ही सकते हैं ना. Like why can't men be graceful? So I think कि I don't have to sell it anymore. That it's a choice, but if you're not trying it, you're losing out on a lot of things, and you're losing out on figuring yourself out completely. So I think men should try more feminine things, women should try more masculine things to understand themselves better. Okay, this is who I am. I am a mixture of this. This is my ratio. So I think it is very important to give up on the myths of कि ये लड़के कर सकते हैं, ये लड़कियां कर सकती हैं. ट्राई कर लो. अगर अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, फिर भी नहीं जम रहा है, तो मत करो. No one is gonna push you. But if you're not even trying, I think you're losing out on life. Like what kind of life do you want to live? So yeah.
Figuring it out yourself, like figuring yourself out is something that is very important for human beings, and a lot of people are deprived of. Excellent answer, to be very honest. Like इससे direct और इससे अच्छा answer इसके लिए नहीं मिल सकता था.
Words like crying like girls or male ego and things like that really, like I'm just like, okay, are we just still there? Like are we still stuck there?
वही एक तरीके से मेरे को तो ट्रिगर भी बहुत ज्यादा करता है कभी कभी कि people who have actually gotten educations from such great institutions, they also end up saying that, and very nicely and very proudly, and they're not even sorry कि नहीं हम किसी को ऐसे कैसे बोल दिया. Like even a lot of people have asked me when I have put nail paints. Like as you said, I am discovering my feminine side because obviously काफी टाइम से repressed था. अब अच्छा भी लगता है कि कभी-कभी ज़्यादा feminine हो जाता है तो या ज़्यादा male. It doesn't mean that I'm not straight. My still preference is straight only. अब कोई आके हमको directly बोलता है कि तुम तो gay है. I'm like कैसे तुमको कैसे पता खाली हम nail paint लगा लिया तो हम gay. My mom doesn't say anything. She applies nail paint, like she helps me apply nail paint on my hand. And उसमें उनको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. तुम कौन होता है? वो तुमको पैदा किया, वो तुमको देखा है छोटे से बड़े होते हुए और तुमको पता चलेगा कि हम गे हैं. Wow, just in one look. I was like, and there are such amazing people as well who have actually come to me when I was in a restaurant or like I was in a cafe actually. मैं पे करने जा रहा हूँ bill on the billing table. सामने से they left their table and came to me and two people like a girl and a guy came and told me कि आपका nail paint बहुत अच्छा है. It really suits you and you're killing it. I'm like, thank you so much. And see, there are two kinds of people already who think differently, and you need to have that broaden, like open-minded and a broadened concept of things ki har cheez ko.
And like for me, I've been watching you even the other day when we were on the call, and I'm seeing you nail paint. It doesn't make a difference. I don't find it peculiar.
Yeah.
Like, matlab, I'm a person who hates wearing nail paints. Okay, does that make me less of a girl?
Yeah.
So it's that. It's very
exact
simple.
opposite. To be very honest, exact opposite right now. It's
Yeah.
really it's okay.
Also, like there are so many things that happens. Like for me, the most trigger point is when someone comes to my house and talks about कि आप शादी कर लो, and then they say कि शादी के बाद भी तुम क्या नाचोगी क्या? And I just feel I literally want to kill someone, but my mom is like, just shut up, don't talk. Just listen. So it's the same. Like you can't help it because they are also coming from a very different background. उन्होंने वही देखा है कि लड़की 25 की हो जाए तो उसकी शादी कर देनी चाहिए और शादी के बाद she lives that set life. So it is very obviously, but it's very triggering for me, and especially कि तुम शादी के बाद भी नाचोगी क्या is like, oh my god.
The way you say things also matters.
Yeah.
Like what you say ठीक है. At least कहीं ना कहीं वो prospect बढ़ रहा है काफी ज्यादा कि the ratio of people understanding having a open mind is increasing more than the ratio जो अभी भी वही close compact way में रहते हैं. There's nothing against for me in religion purpose as well, but काफी लोग इस तरीके से है कि religion force करना ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है rather than letting them accept it. So yeah, those things are changing as well, and I think it's just not the Western culture, but self realization. जब मैं भी यही सोचता था कि mental health तो ठीक है होता है, but for people talking about so many different kinds of issues, I think this is Western, all totally Western. But खुद पे जब बीता, बैठा, समझा, समझ में आया, I researched, I talked about it with people, तब हमको समझ में आया कि यार seriously this is a very big issue in every human being around the world, I think. And once they realize it, once they understand this concept, I think तब वो changes आना चालू होता है. And I think this generation, our generation, is something which can actually reach that point on a whole different level. क्योंकि काफी कुछ हम लोग ने देख लिया यार, पैंडेमिक देख लिया, the biggest revolution, मोदी जी वाला revolution हमने देख लिया. Then we have also seen क्या नहीं देखा यार. There are a lot of things that we have seen, I think. So yeah. There's going to be a lot of change.
And we are just 25.
That's what. वही अभी तो 25 साल का हुआ है. हम लोग और भी चीज देखेंगे आगे जाके. तो अब यही बात है कि क्या देखना बाकी है. It's like we have seen so much already, but there are so many things left to see. पता नहीं. So like I have enjoyed this whole conversation with you, to be very 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 honest. But this is the last question that I always ask everyone to understand what they have learned throughout their journey, what they think they see different in themselves. So when you started this whole journey of being a dancer, being a ballet dancer, any kind of dancer, like dancer in a whole, and also a yoga instructor, like you are, तो उस प्रेक्षा और आज की प्रेक्षा में आपको क्या डिफरेंसेस दिखता है?
When I started, obviously I was younger, and I think it's just not that dance teaches you all of this, but it's also trying to be independent, trying to find yourself, trying to identify yourself as a dancer, or all of those things. They just like I think they just help you express. Like for me, I have become much more expressive. I have become much more confident. Obviously, that obviously has happened. But I have also learned to be patient. I think what ballet has taught me most importantly is to be very patient. To be very humble, to be very patient, and just when and also when you can't do something, when you don't know something, learn to say that I don't know. Learn to say that I can't do it. Because I think वो सबसे hard होता है. Because as a dancer or as any artist, it's very easy to be like boastful about yourself. It is very easy to be like, okay, I can do this. Like, if this person can do it, I can do it. You take everything as a challenge. Okay, this I also want to do this. I want to try this. But and sometimes when someone asks you something and you don't know the right answer of it, instead of trying to find the answer all the time, just tell them that you don't know it, because you can't know it all. So all of these things that I have learned, like I remember, it's a very simple example, but a contemporary teacher came to my class, and she is very good. She is teaching at Terence Lewis, so obviously she's very good. And she came and she said, I don't know how to do a cartwheel. And everyone was shocked. Arey yaar, how can you not do a cartwheel? You're a contemporary dancer. But I fell in love with her because of that brutal honesty. Because I think people just imagine कि अगर तुमको कार्टून नहीं आता तो तुम बैले डांसर नहीं, तुम ये कंटेम्प्रेरी डांसर नहीं हो. So ये जो analogies हैं, these are very typical analogies. But this teacher came and broke that myth for me, and she became my favorite teacher immediately, because I thought कि this person has something. She has guts to say that I don't know something, which is very rare, because teachers, especially after you become a little bit expert on something, people expect that you know everything. And then if you agree to that, you are like building like a high for yourself. So just admit कि हाँ ये नहीं पता मुझे, I don't know this. Ask this to someone else, or if you don't know something, tell them कि this person knows it. So I think that makes it easier for you, and it also helps you learn yourself. So if you say that I don't know this, maybe afterwards you can go and actually learn it. So it is a very interesting thing that I learned through my journey, that learn to say that I don't know something, that I don't know it, and I will eventually learn it. So yeah.
It's not a problem that you don't know it. Even if you are a trainer, even if you teach dancing, or even if you teach yoga, there are a lot of things that you won't know. You can't be a know-it-all. Even the biggest teachers of dancers and everything, they also don't know a lot of things about the dance they are teaching altogether. चाहे उनको 50 साल ही क्यों ना हो गया यार सिखाने का, but there is always something new that they also try to understand. And जब वो आ जाता है ना कि आपको सब कुछ आता भी है और फिर भी आपको सब कुछ नहीं आता, आप still सीख रहे हो, that is everything for everyone. I mean, वो ऐसा realization in human beings, it's not that easy to come, because it's always like कि यार ठीक है, even if you are pushing yourself to be better than that person, or you want to do it, you need to know your limits, and you also need to understand कि सामने अगर किसी को आता भी और हमको नहीं आता तो I can say no about it, क्योंकि ठीक है हमको नहीं आता. It's nothing to boast about. नहीं आता, you accept.
Also, I think that is an indication that you're confident.
Yeah.
That you're a very confident person कि तुमको किसी चीज को नहीं आने से तुम छोटे नहीं हो गए.
Absolutely.
You're very humble and you want to learn. So I think that is a very nice thing that you can learn.
That's a great line you said. To be very honest, it's like the ending was very, the ending that I wanted for the episode is like that ending I got. So thank you so much, Preksha. I hope you enjoyed also the whole conversation, and you also enjoyed talking about your whole journey and sharing your whole learnings with us, because I enjoyed it a lot, and I know a lot of people who will listen to the episode will as well, because as I said and as I've been saying, you're an inspiration. Having those kinds of difficulties in your life, which is very different from other people altogether, and breaking those barriers all along and coming this far and still trying to go further. It's amazing, because a lot of people give up, a lot of people are stuck somewhere, and right now when they'll be listening to this episode, I think काफी confidence मिलेगा, काफी understanding बढ़ेगा, काफी open होगा उनका mind, काफी relation भी they can relate as well. So thank you so much, Preksha, for sharing your story, being there here on this panel of my podcast, and being this amazing person. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. I had a really good time talking. I love talking. So you could make it because my answers were really long. But yeah, it was so good. Also by talking, I get to, like how you said, that I get to know you better. I get to see your perspective, and I get to know myself better also. So yeah, this has been great. And yeah, I hope people who watch it, listen to it, get something out of it, for the least. So yeah, thank you
so much everyone for listening to this episode. If you like my content and still haven't subscribed to my channel, you can do it now and help me grow. And if you like the episode today, please like, share and comment as well. And I have shared a few links down on the description below. Please give a follow. Also, my podcast is available on various other platforms. The link to them are on the description below. Thank you so much everyone. Next episode next Saturday.